Producer Eric, Special K, and Sam. Cash in.
Cha-ching.
With the secret sound on KRBE.
All right, we do
Cha-ching.
it 5 times a day. If you're KRBE Insider, you already know the times.
Right now is the first time of the day, 713-390-KRBE. Call us to be caller 104, and you get to guess what the sound is for $104. It's a brand new sound, so we've reset the bank to $104. This is the secret sound. What is that?
I feel
if you
that-
think you know, 713-390-KRBE.
I feel like that was too quick. Let's do it again. All right.
What could that be? Okay, now while we're getting caller 104, let me throw this at you. For a long time, there was a phrase from the movie Hall Pass about Applebee's that was not the best. Applebee's marketing didn't like what Hall Pass said about their restaurants.
I forgot about that.
Well, they took it twice because they also got it in Talladega Nights, too. Remember? Applebee's has rats.
Yeah, that was a good thing.
That's not a good one.
And Applebee's, people, they're all over the country. They're very busy restaurants. They have lots of food options to offer. So if you think that Applebee's isn't like the most highbrow place, because we did that whole list of the woman that wouldn't get out of the car when he rolled up to Cheesecake Factory. It's like, these are places you have to.
If you're in a small town, like this is the place
Applebee's
to
is
go.
super nice.
So,
Yeah.
Staple.
A city this
Absolutely.
big, I mean, there's other choices. Not that
Correct.
it's bad, but there's so many places you could go.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Applebee's is doing a contest for those of you who are single and out there dating, and it's the date night pass. Starts for $200 while supplies last. You get this card for $200.
Okay, what'd you get?
Basically, the card gives you $30 for food and non-alcoholic drinks on every visit. You can use it once per day. Once per day. You pay $200 for this card.
Yeah.
You can use it once per day for a year.
Wow.
You'll make your money back after
Damn.
going 7 times.
Okay, so you could go 365 times a year.
You're going
You
to
can
gain
use
50
it up to
pounds.
52 times through January 31st of 2025. So it could max out at
once a week?
$1,560 in discounts. It says you can only use it once per day. So if you subtract the $200 you paid for, that is $1,360 in savings. It does not include the tax or the tip. So even if you order carefully, do not go over your $30, you're still going to pay something. But you go to Applebee's.com, you can try and do this date night pass.
And they're hoping you'll
for
bring somebody
$200.
with you and they'll buy a meal.
Right.
Like to get you in the door.
They just need to get you in the door to buy stuff.
Right.
That's smart.
It is
Because
a good choice. I mean,
non-alcoholic
good
and you're going to have
strategy.
beer. You have a margarita or something or a daiquiri. I don't know.
Because you just brought that up, all the choices. I just looked it up. There are over 10,000 restaurants in Houston, Texas.
Applebee's.
Oh,
they like
yeah.
apple
Over
daiquiris there.
10,000.
What's on their food?
Yeah.
Where's the
drink
closest
menu?
Applebee's? Let me
I'm not
look.
really
me find
sure.
out.
Yeah,
Let's
that's actually
see.
a good
Google Map.
question. Sam.
Applebee's
And
near me.
how many people work the food? What do they call
There's
it?
one
The
7
people
miles
that-
away.
Food
7
inspectors.
Oh,
If
the
there's 10,000, they're like 5,000.
health inspectors for
health
restaurants, you
inspectors?
mean?
Yeah, they're like 5,000 of those people? Or
Oh,
like,
no.
Or 100.
no. There's not that many health inspectors.
That's what I'm saying. How they
Somebody text us from City of Houston if you know how many health inspectors do we have, because with a city this big, with this many restaurants. Now listen, City of Houston's different because we're talking about City of Houston proper.
I guess
right?
like Sugar Lane has their own health
Sugar Lane would have their
inspectors.
own. Doesn't Friendswood have their own? Would the Woodlands have their own?
I would
Conroe
assume.
has their own?
Yeah.
Because City of Houston proper has to cover City of Houston restaurants. That's a
That
good
was
thing
when I did
think
pest
about
control. I
before.
used to have to go to the city and I'd get the records and I'd see the reports of the health reports and say, this place had roaches. And then I would know to go there and try and get business.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, it's the Applebee's.com date night pass, $200. Starts today while supplies last.
I was trying to find out how many health inspectors. The first thing that comes up, last year in Houston, there were over 72,000 health violations in restaurants. Oh, my
Well, I mean,
God.
there's a lot. Here's the one thing
That's
that
a lot.
I think that when there was a man on the news for years, and longtime Houstonians remember his name. It was Marvin Zindler. He would do these restaurant reports.
Eyewitness News.
Yeah, and he did this whole thing about,
Slam in the
icebox.
icebox.
And the thing that you're not, I don't know if the rules have changed, but you're not allowed to run up on a restaurant to do their inspection during their like Friday or Saturday night busy time. because it's not going to be
not
good.
fair.
Because if you have like a cooler where the desserts are, let's say, and it has to keep opening for you to get the boxes and keep opening, it lowers the temperature. So if they were to put their temperature gauge in there and say, well, this is like 10 degrees off.
Because I was just opening
Well, it's 10 degrees off because it's such a busy night and the thing keeps opening. I mean, all these different like loopholes. Anyway, so that's what Applebee's.com. Today it starts $200 for the date night pass. All right, let's get to the secret sound.
Another winner? Cha-ching.
Or an even bigger jackpot.
104.1 KRBE.
Now that's true because if this winner does not guess correctly,
We had another $104 bucks in the pot.
$104.
All right, so Judy is caller 104. Hello, Judy. Good morning.
Morning.
morning, Judy.
Okay, congratulations on being caller 104. That's the first hurdle you jumped and you made it. Good times.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to play the secret sound for you again down the line. I know you've already heard it, but we're going to play it again and you're going to guess what that is. Here's the sound.
All right.
Judy, what do you think that is?
A waterfall?
Ooh,
No, I'm
that's a good guess,
sorry.
though. But nope, it's not a waterfall. It's not a waterfall. So y'all make note. It's not a waterfall.
I want to hear it again and think of it as a waterfall.
Let's hear it again.
Don't go guessing waterfalls.
I can see how you would think that's waterfall.
No.
Not waterfall.
Sorry, but now the pot grows another $104.
You can try again, Judy. Thank you so much for trying. It's KRBE's secret sound. You don't know when we're going to do it again unless you're a KRBE insider. If you go to krbe.com and you sign up to be a VIP, we email you the exact times we're going to play the secret sound. It is 5 times a day between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Judy's guess was waterfall. It is not waterfall. So now we go to $208. And I can't tell you the time we're going to do it next, but you got to just be listening or be a VIP inside. You already know. KRBE's secret sound is the 4th sound. We are on the 4th sound because the 3rd sound got guessed right out of the box.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
only,
$104.
it was on the first try.
It was a turn signal,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Can I
Yeah.
sidebar here for a second? Eric, you got to stop smelling your hand.
I
That's
can't-
what's making you sick.
I had a sneeze over there. I'm like, what the hell? I
Okay,
don't my
if you're
hand.
just tuning in and you missed the mystery box,
I've been watching it 10 times
I
now.
can't wait to see the video.
Ahmad was in it. Eric brought up
Ahmad, you good?
this stuff called liquid fart spray.
It's called wet farts.
Wet farts. And the whole room smells so horrible.
My stomach is turning right now.
I wonder how they make it.
I don't know.
How do they make that?
I don't know, but I can tell you, if somebody ever crosses you and you want to get them back, dump a bottle of that stuff on their car.
You didn't dump a bottle. You just
No,
A
you,
drop.
all you
Spray.
do is you spray their handle.
Yeah. Oh, you can't get that smell off your
handle.
hands.
Ah,
Eric, how
good
many times
idea.
have you washed your hands now?
7.
7
And I
times.
just dipped them in
Hot sauce,
hot sauce and then some
coffee grounds, and you can still smell it.
It's lingering.
Oh,
it is
God,
lingering.
stop.
Somebody
So
clean it
coffee
up.
grounds
I think you
helps.
spilled it in the carpet.
We opened up a
No,
package of
strictly
the
in the box.
coffee
Something smells.
on the
bad.
filter on a plate to absorb the odor. I learned that as an airplane trick. When there's a bad smell on an airplane,
I'm getting some more coffee
They
grounds.
open up the coffee grounds.
You didn't even
Try
get
to
any
soak
on
it
you.
up.
Now you have to like it's.
I
No,
I
I'm
know,
just
like,
saying,
how
can
do-
you
I
not
know.
smell it?
No,
No.
You
smell
can't
my
smell it
finger.
over here.
You are
Roula's
acting
got the-
worse than Ahmad is acting, and I'm the one that's the bloodhound knows. All I smell is coffee right
Sam,
now. Poor
do you
Ahmad's the
smell
one
it?
that had to put his hands on it.
I smell it, but
Yeah.
that's because it was over
Right
behind
next
me.
to her mic.
Yeah.
Legit
I think when
behind
you
me.
Because it
walk
was
out of the room
Sam's
and
mic
walk
that
back
Ahmad
in.
was using. So
It's like sympathy
I'm just going to
pains.
stay here in my
people get.
corner.
That's
Yeah.
what Brian's getting sympathy nose.
Sympathy nose.
Yeah.
I'm just staying back here in my corner, so I smell the
You're the
coffee
farthest
grounds,
away.
which I'm very
Furthest
happy
away.
about smelling coffee grounds. But Eric had it on his hands, so he has washed his hands many times. I told him go get a metal spoon and try and rub
Oh,
his
Oh,
hands
you
with a
just tried to
metal
put it
spoon.
in Roula's nose.
I just smell coffee grounds, which is good.
Yeah, but I think once you've smelled something,
Yeah, you
can't
can't
get it out of
unsmell
your
it.
no
head.
matter even
It's like
if
stuck
Yeah.
in your nose hairs.
I can't wait to see the video to see because Maude, you've got
We're
to
putting
see
that
that
up
video
soon.
back. It is so awesome when you're like, whoa!
Eric was wafting the
Is
bottle
it
under his
poop?
nose, and he's like, "It's poop."
It smells so bad. Like it smells exactly like poop.
Man,
exactly
oh man.
like poop.
Man,
you ever
oh
go
man.
to eat something and it's like never what they describe in the this they described it pretty well.
Yeah.
and it is
Yeah.
what
And
it is.
actually, to answer your question, how'd they get that smell and like that? Think of how they do those Bean Boozled Harry Potter beans that smell like
They taste like.
dirt or
Barf.
they taste like, I mean, it really tastes the way that stuff
Yeah,
smells.
grass clippings.
So they figure it out. I don't know.
Well, I mean, how do
Figure it
people
out.
make perfume and cologne? It's you got to have like some kind of skills, a skill
But
set.
that's
Scientists.
your job when you go to a Christmas party. So what do you do for a living? No, I make wet farts.
Yeah.
Well, besides what happened to you before you got here, what did you do for a
What
living?
did you eat, my friend?
What'd you do? Okay, coming up next, we're going to ask you to tell us the story of how you caught your mate cheating. It's How'd You Catch Your Cheater? We learn a lot when we open up our phones at 713-390-KRBE, the way somebody was caught cheating. Now, unfortunately, your relationship ended because of a cheat, and you figured it out on your own. But how did you figure it out?
Because you're
Tell us
actually
all about it.
You're doing a public service here. You'll prevent somebody else from having to go through what you went through.
Exactly right. How'd you catch your cheater? 713-390-KRBE. We'll get your stories next on KRBE.
Ryan's show. It's time for How'd You Catch Your Cheater?
She was like,
She ran out of lyrics.
She did. All right, yes. It is the Roula and Ryan show. How did you catch your cheater at 713-390-KRBE? We learned so much when we take your calls. And Carla is up first. Good morning, Carla.
Good morning.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Good morning, Carla.
listen to
Calling in.
y'all every morning.
Well, thank you. So, were you married, or is this a boyfriend that you're talking about? What's your situation here?
Well, it was my mom's situation.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and so what happened was we started looking through the mail because it was suspicious that her card expired, her bank card got expired. And you know how the bank sends you your replacement card before it expires?
Yes.
You're talking like an
So
ATM card, right?
Right.
Yes.
Or any
yes.
credit card.
Credit card.
Okay, credit card. Okay.
Either way, you
And-
did it before it expires, right?
Yeah, so then, she doesn't really speak English, so I had to make the call, make sure that, the card was on the way. They were like, oh, yeah, we sent it out. You should have received it by now. So we ordered another one. That one never came either. Yeah, and so we started checking the mail. Come to find out, there was a Macy's card, a JCPenney card, an Academy card, that these were cards that he was no longer supposed to have.
Okay, like you thought he shut those down?
Yeah,
But they were
and
still
he
active.
had like thousands of dollars worth of debt on them.
No.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And that debt was for what? Trips with someone else?
Yes, trips with someone else. We called, and there was a whole bunch of Clinique products, things that men don't use.
Oh, man. He was paying for all her stuff. Maybe he just
Yes.
gave them to her. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so dirty.
Oh,
And he
So
wasn't
then,
paying it?
What was your strategy after you found that out? Did you come home from
Well-
work and you were there early and you laid out the cards? I mean, tell us how you blew the whole thing up.
No, well, we blew this thing up once we started, because we always had this family sharing location thing on our phone.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so one time my mom was supposed to be at the hospital, and his phone was, like, dead. It was, like, dead.
He was
And
unreachable,
so
okay.
so we looked it up, and he was in a Palace Inn, like, 5 minutes away from our house.
Oh, my God.
God.
Yeah, that was the last known location for the phone. So we go and we check, and his car is, like, right there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
So we asked where he was at, or, because if you have the same card that they paid for with it, they'll give you a room key if you're like, oh, this is, somebody's waiting for me,
Oh, okay, yeah. That's your,
Oh, so you went and got a room card key?
And then?
Yeah.
And what did you
then
see?
we started knocking on the door because, I don't want to see that picture. So we started knocking on the door, and I called the police. I was like, you know what? Somebody has to come out of this room because we need to find out what is going on.
So wait,
Well,
what'd you
how
tell
did
the
the
police?
police- yeah, what
How
they-
was the police? Did you tell them there would be a threatening situation, that you were worried that there'd be violence when you opened
he's
the door, or
stealing the
what?
cards.
Yes, because my sister was there too, and we were just all I was losing it because I always look up to my dad, and I was like, I don't understand. My mom's supposed to be at a doctor's appointment, and he's here. Like,
So did he come out, or did he just stay in there? Did he wait for
he came out, and he wanted to get home as soon as possible. Like, he tried to take my keys. He tried to take the car that I was driving.
what about
What
the
about the
woman?
lady that was in there
Instant
with him? He wasn't by himself, was he? Or was he? Did the lady already leave?
No, he was with his mistress in the room. So, like, he closed the room after he came out. Like,
Oh.
he did
Closed the
not
door.
want her
Hold
face
on.
to be
And
like,
you guys didn't wait to
no.
find out
Wait,
who
hold
it
on.
was?
He opens the door, closes it behind him, is standing there with you guys at this Palace Inn place, and he's not letting you go in, but he's acting like there's nobody in there? Or is he acting like, oh, I have to
Right,
leave, I have to
yeah.
leave, nothing's going on?
Yeah, no, he was like, we have to leave. And I was like, who's in there? He said, oh, no, we have to leave. We got to go. And I
I
was like,
cannot
why
with
do we
these
have to
guys
go?
who act like nothing is happening.
And what did you do? Did you go in there?
Yeah.
Did you go in?
God.
No, I didn't go in there. I just waited. Like, I sat on the hood of his car.
Yeah,
until
because she had to come out at
decided
some
to come
point.
out.
Did
Yeah,
she ever?
start
Did she
her
ever
out.
come out? Did the woman
Yeah.
ever come out?
Yes.
And
Yes, she did.
What
And
happened?
did
After
you
how
know-
To
long?
this day, And to this day, my mom went through the whole divorce, and he tells everybody that my mom is the crazy one.
Oh, he turned it around. Now, did you know the woman that he was in there with?
Gracious.
Oh, yeah, she came to the house.
For what?
She came to our house, like, for, I think it was, like, after Christmas or Christmas Eve, like, two years ago.
So
because this just happened.
Wait,
Yeah, it was, like, in 2021, like, before, like, COVID started, like, the real bad part of COVID started.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she was here. She was sitting in our living room.
Why?
Who
Like,
is she?
under what
Why?
pretense?
She's
Like,
a
how did
coworker, a friend, a neighbor. Who
How
is
does your
she?
dad know her?
Well, she was a friend of my mom.
Oh, that's.
And when did this
why-
happen? Last week? 2 weeks ago? Month?
No, this happened like 2 years ago,
Oh,
but
okay.
recently just left the house because he did not want to leave the house that he was. I guess he owns with my mom.
Uh-huh.
He didn't want to leave. And my mom was like, you know what, for the piece of it, because she had arm surgery.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, she was stressing over him being here and not helping out at all. And, you know, just giving his entire check to his mistress.
That's such your poor
God.
mom.
Did she leave?
No, did who leave?
Your mom's
Did
divorced.
your mom? Yeah,
They
I'm
got
just
a
saying.
divorce.
I'm just saying, like he
They got
wouldn't
a
leave the
divorce.
house.
My
I'm
mom
just
was
saying.
awarded the house.
Okay, she was awarded.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
She
That's
was
what I'm
awarded.
referring
Yeah,
to.
and so he didn't want to leave, and my mom was like, you know what? I don't really want to call the cops, but you're going to make me because I'm asking you nicely. Just take whatever you need and come back during the weekend and come grab the rest of your stuff. Wow. But he didn't want it. He forced it on them, and then he started laughing. He was like, if you're threatening me to leave, I'm just going to put the house up for sale.
Oh, my God. You
man.
can't do that.
Is he still with that lady, by the way? Just curious, Carla. Are they together still?
We needed to know.
Yeah, they are. They are. And I guess her love for him is not as much as he thought because they're still not living together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she doesn't trust him.
Yeah, why would you?
He's the cheater.
No, you never trust. Why would you trust this guy? He's going to do it to you next.
Wow, Carla, that was quite the story.
That was something.
The location serves as last known place for the phone was.
But once again-
an inn.
Look at
They
this.
just
So he
waited
doesn't
He
her
had the
shout.
out.
audacity to bring that woman
Sat
into the
on the hood
house.
of the car
So
and
he shut
waited
it off.
her out.
He shut it off the phone.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, how'd you catch your cheater? Look at that. They get caught in so many different ways. Now we go to Juan, who has, from what I know, he told Ahmad the car is what ratted him out. How did the car rat him out?
Oh, he was the cheater?
Juan, good morning.
Good morning. How
Hi.
y'all
Good
doing?
morning.
Are you the cheater? Are you calling about the cheater? Is the cheater somebody in your life?
My ex was a cheater.
Okay.
My car app told me I just was logged into my car app. He wanted to borrow my car, my brand new car, and I let him borrow it because I know the location of the car 24/7.
Okay.
And he was at the Palace Inn.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
why is it a Palace Inn?
Man,
They just-
Hey.
they just needed today. Adult
Hey,
friends.
but you know what? I read it when Ahmad was screening me. He's like, so it's $20 for a 2-hour room. So I'm like, how do you know, Ahmad?
Just got burned. How do you know, Mom?
Okay, after we
Hey.
see your story, we're going to ask Ahmad about that.
Hey, Eric. Hey guys. I just sent a meme to the 37530.
Okay. I saw
If you ever live in Houston, if you smash at the Palace Inn for 2 hours, if you have ever lived in Houston, you have smashed at the Palace
I
Inn
see
for
that.
2 hours for $20 at some point in your life.
Don't lie.
Oh my
2
God.
hours for $20.
So
That is cheap.
I did not know they rent
What if I just
hourly?
need an hour?
I'm about to go
That's
take a
the
nap
place
over
where a
there.
lot of, affairs
Hey.
happen.
Is it
Hey,
10 bucks?
apparently.
neon lights and everything, but they're upgrading the rooms already.
Oh my God.
Okay. Back to the
You're
story.
killing me. Okay, so
To the story.
your car is new, and your boyfriend asked to borrow your car, and you were looking at the app, and you tracked where the car went. It went to Palace Inn, and then did you
Yes.
go to the Palace Inn like Carla went there with her sister?
I was blowing up his phone like if I was like a toxic person, and I was like, where you at? And he denied everything, but he didn't borrow my car no more.
So y'all stay together?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
And then the
Because you
He's not
kicked him to
getting
the curb. He
caught.
burned him.
the second time, because I forgave him that time. I didn't give a damn that.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
that's
But
a
the
whole other
second time,
segment.
He
Second
was
time.
in a Facebook Live with the cheater.
You saw the cheater with him on. You knew he was back with it again.
Oh,
Man.
What was he doing on Facebook Live?
He was seeing him perform in a gay club.
And so you could see him in the video. Oh my gosh, people are dumb.
Oh my god!
Wow.
All right, Ahmad, come in here real quick.
Allison.
Ahmad, you're up next. How did you
Thanks
know?
for the tip.
Ahmad, come here.
Juan. Oh my God.
Mr.
For those
Blackman.
just tuning in, let me recap for a second. We're doing How'd You Catch a Cheater here on the Roula and Ryan Show, where people tell us how they figured out on their own that their mate's cheating. Carla told us that she found out her dad was cheating on her mom because his location searches on his phone, last known place was a place called the Palace Inn. So she went there and she waited them out. She waited out the mistress and all that stuff. Then Juan calls up and talks about the Palace Inn. And Juan rats out Ahmad, who answers our phones.
How do you
and Ahmad
know?
knows what?
How do you know what the hourly rate is, Ahmad?
Or 2 hour
Just
rate.
loose with the lips, man. Our listeners are snitches.
Can you go hourly, or does it have to be a 2 hour block?
When I went, it was like $30 for an hour. When you're in college and you live in a dorm situation, you know.
You have no
That's
privacy.
true, I guess,
Yeah,
you
why
and
not?
Somebody
You gotta
else,
go somewhere
you both
private.
can't host.
You don't have a
so-
car.
Yeah, I didn't have a car. Well, at the time, I did have a little racing car. But
Racing car?
Yeah, it looked
Matchbox
like,
Hot
it looked
Wheels
like
or what?
something from like Tokyo Drift. It was Subaru,
Okay.
and it had the like spoiler on the back. I got it off of Craigslist for like $2,000. But yeah, I don't know what to say right now.
So that's why you went there,
it's
because
fine.
you need like a place for privacy to have.
And how did it have the neon lights in there and stuff?
No, I don't know where he was going, but that was
Palace Inn was
So
that.
overall,
Yeah.
how would you rank your Palace Inn stay? Was it delightful?
well, yeah. The
Some
place
delight.
itself, though, like there's definitely going to be like the remote doesn't work. It might be dirty
no
towels.
batteries.
Well, I don't think people are going there to watch TV.
Rula would never.
Rula, you
step
would
foot.
never.
She'd rather sleep in her car.
I have stayed at some inns before in small towns or for reasons that was the only place to stay, and I really could not sleep soundly all night because
Oh, really?
I knew it was on that bed.
Like the Motel 6s and stuff like those are fun.
Oh no, that's not where I stayed. I stayed at a couple of places that had inn in the word.
Oh, Red Rash Inn?
No, it's Red Rash Inn, Ryan.
The No-Tell Motel?
Ooh, I like that one.
Anyway, there were
No
inns
tell.
that I stayed for in various states, and I could not sleep the whole time because I'm just like, God, what's happened in this room before we had to stay here?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
ones that look like little cabins next to each other. I've seen those, like they're real small.
Oh, like Schlitz Creek?
yeah,
Yeah,
like that
like
feel.
Bates Motel.
Yeah, Bates- yeah.
Mhm.
Like
That's
I
what
went to
somebody's
a
watching.
wedding in Connecticut. It was my first time ever in Connecticut, and the closest place to the wedding venue was an inn, like a motel place like that. Where just like what Carla described, your car is in front of the door, and questionable towels, Ahmad.
Yeah, questionable towels.
Now,
laying
motel
around.
means doesn't have an elevator, right?
I think the
Most of
doors
it's
like only
usually
two
the
levels.
outdoor.
the
The
doors
doors
are
face
facing
outside.
outside.
Yeah,
And a lot
there's
of
no
these
hallway.
inns are that way too.
Yeah, Holiday Inn, Superdome. I used to go to that place. It was big in the 80s.
Now, Holiday Inn was an actual hotel. Depending
still
on now,
exists, doesn't
they
it?
have they
Yeah.
have like all that, but. These inns, like where somebody said, "Man, Palace Inn's getting lots of advertising today."
Yeah.
Well, hey, man,
You
two
guys should,
stories of the same place,
spend
doing
some
the
money.
same
Okay,
stuff.
Here's your answer, Eric. Motels are a kind of hotel. The word motel, a blend of motor and hotel, typically implies a roadside hotel in which the doors of the rooms can be entered from the outside.
I'm just saying-
Hotel rooms are entered
gets
from the
creepy.
inside of the building.
Room 7 needs a cleaning.
Motels usually don't have the free breakfast, I don't think.
No continental
Motels
breakfast.
usually have like almost nothing.
Those waffle
they just
makers.
have a bed and a
Waffle
shower.
machines.
And that's
Well, I
it.
mean,
Texas-shaped waffle maker.
I mean, if they're renting by the hour, chances are people are not going there for the.
And that's low key because I don't think you could call them and say like, "Hey, I need a room for an hour." They'll tell you like, "No, we don't do that."
Right, but if you go
But
up
then
there,
you
for
go there?
Yeah.
Oh, you
so
would
one
you
of our
slip 'em cash?
firefighter friends, Captain Ross, texted in that he had an emergency call as a firefighter to one of these inns.
Mm-hmm.
He was a man in his 60s with a girl in her 20s. Long story short, her hip was dislocated.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God!
I figured it'd be his if he's older.
Must have had
Imagine
some
if you think
wild
about
action.
what firefighters have seen.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, they're always the first.
Now,
Yeah,
they're the
yeah.
first ones to get on the scene. A lot of people are now texting us a bunch of inns where they've had fun. And yeah, that's all we're going to say about that.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we've got tickets for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, guys. Rodeo Houston kicks off February 27. Score a pair of tickets, and I'll tell you what show you're going to get next in Scoop on KRBE.
I'm time, please introduce Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
On KRBE.
Okay, Houston, Texas. Guess what's right around the corner? The rodeo. Rodeo Houston. Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. If this is your first time for rodeo season as a Houstonian because you moved here in the last couple of months, or you moved here, let's say, last April.
Or a few years even, you just don't understand it. Because some people don't get it.
You don't understand it, but it's not the first time you haven't heard about it. Because when you hear rodeo and you hear Houston, outsiders of Houston are like, oh, yeah, okay, Texas rodeo. No. This thing is not just like something you've seen on a movie where there's like a little corral area and some horses.
Especially up north, they were a bunch of hillbillies just like going to work on our horses.
Right. This is an event of all events. It
wish
goes
we
for
did.
2 weeks. It's unbelievable. You could live here for 10 years and never actually see the actual rodeo NRG. You could just keep going to the carnival or Energy Center or the cook-off, and you never actually went inside the stadium. How many years, Eric, before you went inside the stadium to actually see the rodeo?
Oh, yeah, probably like 6 years.
From the beginning, like
2003
from the
moved here.
grand entry parade all the way to the end of the concert.
Yeah, I usually go with us when we all go drinking, and then we go there. That's the first
And
time.
even still, we missed that part.
I usually just go to the carnival and then go look at the tractors and stuff. And
Yeah.
like, that tractor sucks. That's a good tractor there.
So there are a lot of days that you can spend at the rodeo in different ways. You can start February 27th with Blake Shelton. It ends on March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, on a Sunday with Eric Church. I've got tickets for you right now to see Brad Paisley on Saturday, March the 16th. Brad Paisley. He is a great performer. He's a solid standard of the rodeo. We got a pair of tickets for you right now at 713-390-KRBE to make your plans. You can purchase your tickets right now at rodeohouston.com, but just be caller, what did I say, 10? Did I say 10? I said 10, didn't I? Okay, caller
It's
10.
10 now.
It's 10 now.
713-390-KRBE.
713-390-KRBE. Brad Paisley.
That was not on. That was not on.
Yeah, that was not
synced.
That was not Marconi
chemistry there
Award
was
winning.
not good.
That was not synced.
KRBE. There you go.
I still know what the number is there because
Yeah.
just
What?
fell off.
713-390-KRBE.
577. Okay, let me give you this one.
Fart smell, fart spray smells
Oh,
in
it still
everyone's
smells
brains.
in here.
Yeah, you got to go to krbe.com's socials after the show and see the mystery box of the mod from last hour. It's pretty epic because we all did it to ourselves.
We all took one for the team.
There was a disgusting smell in
Nobody
here.
wanted to.
All right, let me get to
Nope.
this. You
Just
know,
happened.
you hear about big things in pop culture that end up in museums because everyone knows what that is, right? Like the Wizard of Oz. Everybody knows what that is. Everybody knows what there's a tornado, Wizard of Oz. Ruby slippers, Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
There's no place like home, Wizard of Oz. Dog in a basket, Toto, Wizard of Oz.
Munchkins.
Okay. So those slippers that Judy Garland wore in the movie, they had more than one pair. And over the years, I think that for a long time, they had lost track of the originals. And then one of the sets was stolen. Back in 2005, a man stole Dorothy's ruby slippers from the Judy Garland Museum. Not because he knew about their cultural significance. This idiot actually thought it was made out of real rubies.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's what they're going to do. Just put it right in there.
So he stole them in 2005, and guess what? He's just now going to be sentenced this week in 2024 for stealing the ruby slippers.
If he
Wait,
would've-
say the date again that he got.
He stole them in 2005.
2005.
When did they
Yes.
catch him?
They were missing for a long time. They were recovered in 2018.
Okay.
And he is being sentenced this week for stealing them.
Wow.
He could have served his time. It would have been done by now.
Yeah,
No
that's
kidding.
Is that crazy? His name
So-
is Terry Martin. And he stole them because he thought they were made out of real rubies. He thought the gems were real. Obviously, they're not. And so they found the slippers. They found it was him that stole them, and now he's going to be sentenced.
According to the wardrobe person that worked on the film, there were 6 identical pairs made.
Yeah, but I don't think there's that many
6.
surviving.
No,
And the
probably
original,
not.
I think, is missing.
Really?
If you go to the Smithsonian in D.C., you can see a pair there. And they really just, I mean, they're nice, but they're
They have a
underwhelming
whole,
because
like,
you
She
just think they're
had
going to
the
be
tiniest
so...
feet you could ever
How's that
imagine.
work at the
They look
Smithsonian? Is there like a
doll
whole,
shoe.
just a whole...
You have to go to
You
the pop
walk down
culture.
pop culture, and it's just
Well, there's 11
What's
or
it look
14
like?
Smithsonian museums. That's what people don't realize.
I'll go on YouTube, I guess, and watch it.
There's 11 museums, I think, or is it 14? Because when Tassos and I went to D.C. and we wanted to go to that museum, I was like, well, which one are we going to go to? Because there's the Air and Space, which is amaze.
I wanna see that.
Oh, God. It's so great.
You
Even if
need a
don't
couple
like-
days. You need 3 days
Yes,
to do all of it.
to do all of it. But there's one specific one that has all the pop culture stuff, like Julia Child's actual kitchen, her real kitchen with her real chair and her real table and all her stuff. Things from like, oh gosh, even like Mary Lincoln's dress she wore when Abraham Lincoln got shot in the theater. They
I
have
want
her
to see that
dress.
stuff. I don't want to bring my kids because they'll be bored and they'll be like, I want to go for myself.
Well, they won't
My
be
own-
bored if it's interesting to you. Like Mike,
They don't care about like
the kids will be bored.
I guess all the
They'd rather be
Fonz.
playing-
I wouldn't care about the Fonz,
Yeah.
leather jackets.
Oh yeah, they won't care about the old show stuff. They don't know.
Stuff that's from your childhood. By the way, I'm looking at this. You're talking about the Smithsonian. So apparently, these ruby slippers were stored and forgotten in the basement of MGM's wardrobe department. And basically, Warner Brothers kept the best pair of shoes for themselves. And then they sold off the rest. They gave one pair to the Smithsonian.
Which
And I
is the
think
American History Museum.
Yes, that's right. And I think I learned most about how big the Smithsonian is besides going there from Night at the Museum 2 or 3, where it all came alive.
So I get it from Transformers when one of the Transformers was one of the airplanes there. It was an old
Oh,
dude.
really?
Yeah. They had to go in there and get him to help them fight.
He was in the museum.
And Ryan Show on KRBE with what's going down in H-Town.
All right, it is brought to you by Duncan. Harris County has the second highest number of Mexican restaurants in the United States. Who do you think has the most Mexican restaurants?
Arizona.
Mexico.
Somewhere in California?
No, it's actually Los Angeles.
Yeah,
But I
California.
don't consider that's not Tex-Mex. LA Mex is totally different from what we have.
Well, they wouldn't call it Tex-Mex in L.A.
No, they
Why
call
would
it
they
LA
call it
Mex.
that?
It's not Texas.
It's not Tex-Mex.
Yeah, what do they call theirs?
Cali-Mex? Baja-Mex?
Oh, they do have Baja Fresh. Baja Fresh is
Baja
a big
Fresh,
one there. Let's see. Los Angeles has 5,484, but Harris County has 2,362 Mexican restaurants.
'Cause you can't go wrong.
We account right here in Houston for 17% of the state's total. So 11% of the restaurants in the United States now serve Mexican food.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's all good.
No, God, no. What's that horrible
You've
one
been
up north?
spoiled if you're from here.
They can make fun of our Italian down here. They can do that. But
You go up north
they
and
can't
get Chi-Chi's, it's like, oh.
I don't think those are
do-
still open,
do
are
not
they?
do
I don't
that.
think so.
No, that was the worst.
That's what I grew up on, thinking that was normal.
That's not real Mexican food.
Well, I do remember there was a Chi-Chi's here when we were children. When I was a child, there was one on Richmond between
fried ice
Hillcroft
cream.
and Fountain View. And there was fried ice cream. I remember the outfits that the waitresses wore were really pretty as a kid.
What's the purpose of free chips and salsa?
Keep you busy until your food's there.
Or when did that happen?
Oh, yeah. Doesn't it make you
Like,
thirsty, too?
Did they?
I
Like
don't
some
know.
other restaurants.
Oh, like who decided to
Yeah,
do
did
that?
somebody in 1967 say, if I give they're going to be thirsty, they're going to want to drink more beer?
Yeah.
What do you think of an Italian restaurant? You get bread.
Yeah.
No.
Hey,
Whoever
you
came up with
just
it,
want some bread, rolls.
I'm so happy.
Actually, there was
It
a thing
says
I
the
saw-
reason a restaurant would offer free chips and salsa, the guest experience. Instead of risking a guest being dissatisfied by having them to wait 15 or 20 minutes longer for the food, for the main entree, they offer chips and salsa to keep them engaged. And it also,
And they can't
more time
complain.
for them to drink. They'll order more drinks.
That's what I was thinking, the drinks.
There was a thing on Instagram, maybe I saw on TikTok, I don't know what it was. It says, I'm going to chop up 17 tortillas for you and give them to you to snack on. Would you like that? Like, no way, I would never eat that many. How about 7 tortillas? I would never eat that many. Next picture is chips and salsa in a
he's
restaurant.
eating
Yep.
You're probably eating 7 tortillas.
4 baskets.
I don't want to think about it, Roula.
Like, wow, that's a lot of tortillas. Okay, if you missed what happened today on Roula and Ryan's Roses with Eileen, Daniel, and Debbie, oh man, you got to hear the recap where nobody could believe this guy is so smooth. He knew it was me calling him for roses, and he had an answer to every one of the problems. And let's see what Eileen decided to do over the weekend. Next on the Roula.